tile has broken here, and we want to glue the pieces back in place. Here's the problem. If we glue the tiles back in place from here, you see this gap? It will just press down and then it will just stay broken. So what we want to do is close up this gap here. So we've made this wonderful little thing, shows us our different spaces, and so I want to figure out what do I need here. So if I take my 3mm, stick that in, would that be a good size? Maybe. You see the tiles going up, so maybe, yeah. It's pressing down nice on that. But here you can see the gap is getting smaller, so I'm going to turn that around. That's about 0.5, that's too small. 1 is too small. Let's see it. 1.5, I'm getting a nice contact from the surface. So over here I would be about 3, right about there. I'm 1.5, and I'm just guessing, yeah, this is going to be 1. Down at the very end, maybe a 0.5. So it seems like it's going to be around about 3. Then I said about 1.5. Let's check that again. Yep.
Try 2.
Let's try 2.
Kind of hard.
Take this one out. Try 2. 2, I think, is a little much. 2. And then here's going to be 1. Down there will be 0.5. So now we're just going to measure how far over
Each of those are.
each of these are, how far the gaps go, and then we'll plan our piece.
So after taking dimensions, I then designed a part in my CAD program and have just printed it out on my Creality Ender 3 version 2 3D printer. And here's a shot of what it looks like.
We made our little piece. If you look at it, it's thicker here, and it gets gradually thinner, thinner, thinner. It's a shape. We had to kind of cut off this corner for putting it in. That's going to lay down right here, and that's going to be our spacer, so that when we glue this, well, of course we'll glue that down, but when we glue this down, it has something to rest on, so this tile won't jump or fall or anything. So our next piece, let's just try it, make sure it's all going together here. That's our next piece of tile. Then we have that one, and then we have this one. Okay, so as we see there, it has something nice to rest on all the way down. So we had a gradual, it's gradually getting thinner, 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 and all these pieces are fitting nice and flat, and I can press down on them and they don't tip. So
Beautiful.
that's beautiful. Let's glue it down.
Okay, let's mix up our epoxy and add it to the pieces and glue it in place.
So I decided to use a 2-part epoxy. It says it was rated for 3 tons, so I figured that that surely would do the job. It had been a while since I've used any 2-part epoxy. The big thing is to have a spare piece of cardboard or paper plate and just open your tubes, mix it together, read the instructions. We didn't know how much to use, but also if you open a tube, you're pretty much going to be needing to just use it up. Usually they can't be stored. You put both A and B of the epoxy together, then mix it thoroughly. We chose this because it seemed gooey and sticky enough that it could be applied to the tile, to the cement there, and fill in the gaps. And we could apply it to the edge and the back of the tile, and then put in our 3D printed piece there that laid in place first to fill in the gap that the tile needed to rest on, and then took some of the epoxy and put it on the back of the tile first and applied it to the concrete that was under the tile, so it formed kind of a good bonding surface. as we applied each of the tile pieces in place there. And here's a shot of what it looked like after the pieces were glued in place. It looked really good with the 3D printed piece supporting the tile pieces in the gap. After the pieces were glued in place and allowed to dry, we used a silicone sealant to just fill in those gaps between the tiles. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.